we'll jump right into this. And we're not going to take a ton of your time today, but hopefully we'll give you some good information. Can you guys see that okay? I should say weight loss recode right in the middle of the screen.
Yes.
Got that? All right, cool. So that's the name of this program. So I just want to welcome you. My name is Dr. John Schellenberg, and we're just gonna take a few minutes of your time here and share some stuff about this weight loss recode program that we've got going on. It's one of a kind, and so I'm really excited to share it with you. All right, so let me see if I can get this thing working. See if that wants to work for me. It does. Okay, cool. Now I know where I'm supposed to be sharing this from. All right, so let's just be honest here. You'll find if if you ever start to work with us, you'll find one thing that I'm going to be 100% completely honest with you. So we're going to be honest right off the start. So there's 5 things that I think that we all know are true, and it's not clicking again. Why is it not clicking again? Goodness gracious! There we go. All right. So here's the deal. Your body is carrying fat it doesn't need. Right now, your body is storing fat that's not serving you. It's not for energy. It's not for protection. It's just there. And you feel it every day. There's 3 kinds of fat. And this is the stuff that we don't want. We don't need. We don't like it. It's yucky. And it's just there. The second thing is, I guarantee you want to feel healthy, vital, and confident. I've worked with thousands of people, and every single one of them wants to feel better about themselves. They want to look better in pictures. They want to look better in the mirror. They want to feel better about themselves. They want to be able to walk confidently down the road. They want to go to the gym and feel good. They want to go to the beach or the pool and feel good. They want to go on vacation and look good and feel good, and be healthy and vital. They want to be able to bend over and tie their shoes without constraints. They want to get on an airplane and move through the market or the airplane aisle and just feel good and easy and flexible and young. And so that's one of the things I think we all know together to be true. And I'm going to assume, I think we know this, but the other reason why I say I think I know this is because in the last 12.5 years or so, I've been doing this. Only one person came to me that said, this is the first time I've ever tried to lose weight. So I'm going to assume that this isn't your first attempt. If you're here, you're probably interested in losing some weight or burning some fat. And this isn't your first attempt. You've probably tried some stuff before, and probably some of it even worked, maybe worked really, really well, but for some reason it didn't stick, because if it stuck, you wouldn't be here. And I want you to know that that's not failure. That's actually feedback. We call it experience. And then the next thing is, you've probably found the weight you lost more than once. You've yo-yoed like just about everybody out there. The weight you've lost has probably come back at least once. And then the last thing is, you're probably here because you're serious about lasting results. I don't tend to attract people that don't really care. They're kind of like done. They're ready to just kind of get going, and really come with the attitude, you know what, this time I just really needed actually to work. And I think that that's good, because that's the right mindset that we need to start with. So the program, let's clear the noise right off the start. The program that we have is not some things. And I want to go through 7 things that this is not, and it never will be. Okay. You've been burned probably by other things before. And now this is stuff that, and I have too, and I've left it all behind. So this is what it is not. Okay. It is not another YouTube diet trend that's out there. It's not a starvation or deprivation plan. It's not a multi-level marketing product that I'm trying to peddle to you for the rest of your lives. It's not that at all. It's not an engineered processed food system. You know, you've ever done those? You take those shakes, you buy their food, and as soon as you stop that fake engineered food, which is designed to trick your body, the weight just comes rushing back. That's not this. It's not that at all. Okay. So it's not dependent on grueling exercise. I'm going to teach you a way to burn more fat sitting on the couch than you will on the treadmill. Okay. So if you hate exercise, this is good for you. And in fact, the hardest people that we have are the ones who have to exercise like a mad person, 18 times a week. Those are the ones that don't do as well. So it's not that. It's not a grueling exercise dependent program. It is not a hormone or drug-based program. There's no injections here. If you're looking for a quick fix, try and trick Mother Nature with drugs that just destroy your muscle, this is not it. And lastly, this is not a surgical intervention. I'm a doctor, but I don't use a scalpel. Okay, so these are the things that this program is not. So hopefully that's not what you were looking for when you signed up for this program. So here's the real work, though, because anything that's worth doing is worth doing well, and it's worth working at it. So there's some 5 shifts that have to be, you have to make these shifts in order to make the difference. Like these aren't tips. I'm not going to give you like weight loss tips here. Okay. These are non-negotiables behind every lasting transformation. These things we're going to talk about are non-negotiable. They have to happen if you want lasting results and transformational change in your, not only body shape, your weight, but in your life, your health, your vitality. Okay. So here they are. Number 1. You have to burn the right kind of fat. This isn't about weight loss. Weight loss, by definition, is you go get a haircut, you lose some weight. Okay? We're not interested in that. We're interested in burning fat. And there's different kinds of fat. Most people maybe don't know that, but you've probably heard of visceral fat. That's one of the bad types. And it's under the abnormal fat. There's a couple different abnormal types of fat. We're not going to get into the details on that. But basically, if it's not structural fat, which you need, it lines your brain, it's full of fat, you need that stuff, then it's dangerous fat and you don't need it. In fact, it's not only do you not need it, it's actually making us sick. It's leading to chronic illness, the visceral and abnormal fat. So we want to target that. You have to learn how to target that kind of fat only and leave your structural fat alone and leave your muscle alone. Okay, so I'm not here to brag on all the kinds of programs because there's lots of them out there and a lot of them are really good. A lot of them work. But the ones that are starvation-based and drug-based will burn up your muscle. It will actually prefer to burn your muscle. And you can look at these movie stars or people that you know that have been on these injections and their face is drawn and you see these bones, especially cheekbones. You see somebody with these protruding cheekbones, it's a dead giveaway. It's a ringer. Okay. And they're just killing themselves. It's the long-term effect of this stuff has not yet been documented, but we already know they got $200 billion set aside for all the lawsuits that are coming. All right. Step 2, you have to take control of your insulin response. Okay. Everybody's heard of insulin. Not everybody knows what exactly it does. And I'm not going to go into a huge discussion about it. But basically insulin is the master switch. Okay. You have to learn how to manage it. And fat storage will slow down while fat burning accelerates naturally if you do it right. Insulin is the master switch. Okay. If it's not right, you're going to lead to something called insulin resistance, which is step 3. We have to reverse insulin resistance at the cellular level. It sounds really scary and really hard and really involved. It's actually very simple. We have 4 steps. You just follow them and it'll take care of all of this stuff. We'll go through some of that stuff here in the next couple of slides. But it's not enough to just change what you eat. Okay. Just so you know, it's not that easy because we have to get your cells to start listening to insulin again. They're becoming resistant. And I'll talk a little bit about what that means and how it shows up in the body and some physiology in just a few minutes. Step 4 is you have to reset your metabolism. Well, that's another big word. Metabolism, right? That's how your body processes your food and turns it into the building blocks of life called protein and muscle and energy, basically. So we have to reset your metabolism. So when you burn fat and you drop weight, you become a lower body weight. Your metabolism changes, but your metabolism is controlled by a part of the mind called the unconscious. And the unconscious doesn't know, or your brain, let me put it this way, your brain doesn't know that it's actually safe. It doesn't get the memo that it's safe for you to lose 20 or 30 or 40 or 50, 60 pounds. It doesn't know it's safe. Okay. So it doesn't get the memo. So it goes back to its old set point, and we go back to our old ways. And you've probably experienced this. I know I have way too many times, lose 20 pounds, put back on 25 because the brain didn't get the memo. And the unconscious is just driving the survival. So we're just coming back to what we know to be safe and survivable, which was our old body set point with our metabolism. So what we've created is a rhythmic process that works along with the natural hormone cycles of your body that literally auto saves your progress as we go. So it's like creating a project on your computer, on your PowerPoint or whatever, Microsoft Word or some sort of word processor, right? And as you're typing along, it's saving your progress. Well, this is the same idea. It was brutal before they had autosave, and if you forgot to hit save and like the cat walked across the delete button and you lost all of it, you couldn't just bring it back, or it didn't just save for us. So this process is that we employ is like an auto save for your weight loss progress. And then the last step, and this is actually the biggest one, and this is probably the missing link for 99.85% of anyone trying to become their healthiest body weight or ideal body weight, is you have to step into the identity of being a healthy, vital person. You have to make room inside your current identity for that healthy, vital, ideal weight person who you want to become. And this identity piece is the missing link. It's like the Holy Grail. When you put all of these things together, it's like you've got the Holy Grail here. And that's literally what I think we've created. And I'll tell you why this works, because this is built on, I've been 27 years in clinical experience, and I didn't just study weight loss, dude. I live it. I lived it. I mean it, the struggle. And I've been working hard, finding different ways in order to solve it. And I think we're there. The results that we're getting with people are validating that. So, I've been 27 years of practice. I have 5 professional certifications, at least 20,000 one-on-one sessions, doing all kinds of things inside these certifications with people working one-on-one. And I've also built 2 proprietary software apps for weight loss. So at the end of all of that, after 14 years focusing solely on weight loss, as well as losing and gaining the same 30 pounds 15 times at least myself, I've created something called the Weight Loss Recode, and it's a program that actually works, and it's permanently. Like literally, this is the last advice. You follow this, if you understand this, you take this to heart, and you do what we tell you. We work along with us, and you don't give up in the process. This is the last advice you're ever going to need. Okay, so here it is side by side. Everything, it's none of these things we talked about. It's not a U2, it's not starvation, not MLM, not engineered, not exercise dependent, not hormone or drug programs, and certainly not surgically involved. Okay, and this is everything it solves. This is the antidote to every approach that's ever let you down. Okay, we're going to burn visceral and abnormal fat, not muscle. How do we do that? Really briefly. I'm not going to give you all the details of this, but I'm going to give you the brief overview of it. Because if it makes sense to you, you'll get all the details, and it's going to make perfect sense. But in order to burn your visceral or your abnormal fat and not your muscle, we actually use something called homeopathic remedy. This is a homeopathic weight loss formula. And it does a couple things. Okay, if you know anything about homeopathy, it's extremely safe. There's literally no side effects to it. And it's just taken under the tongue. It's sublingual. It just tastes it actually tastes like water. They put a little bit of a taste in it in order to make people understand and realize it's not just water, but it's just like a liquid. It goes under your tongue. You hold it there for 60 seconds and you swallow it. So it's assimilated not through your gut, but sublingually or under your tongue. And what does it do? Well, homeopathics actually work on the memory circuits of the body, to be honest. And by the way, homeopathy was developed by Samuel Hahnemann, who was a German physician, an MD, in 1895. And it's based on the pharmacological law of similars, which says like cures like. And so in this regard, what this literally does is, number one, it stops you from going into starvation mode. If you go into starvation mode, you're going to start to burn up your muscle. You don't want that. Okay, so that's the first thing it does. The second thing it does is it helps curb your appetite and your cravings. And it tells your brain in such a way to burn only your abnormal fat and not your structural fat. It allows you to reduce your caloric intake to a healthy, safe level so your body can just burn your abnormal and visceral fat without going into ketosis. So if you guys know anything about ketones, ketone bodies, and ketosis, or the carnivore diet, or ketogenic diet, this keeps you out of ketosis. So you're allowed to eat a large variety of food on this program. So that goes into the next thing: control your insulin response. Okay, so when insulin is released, technically speaking, I'm going to let somebody in here. Technically speaking, as soon as you start thinking about your next meal, like, oh, I'm going to start making dinner, insulin is already starting to be released. Okay, now insulin it's a fat storage signaling hormone. So that means when it is being released, your body is moving into fat storage. So there's a concept in the body called, I apologize for the big word, but I like to say them sometimes because it makes me feel like I'm smart, but it's called reciprocal inhibition. Okay, so if I flex this muscle, this one's flexed, the bicep is flexed, the tricep is relaxed. So if I flex the tricep, my bicep is relaxed. That's called reciprocal inhibition. Okay, it's like you can drive north down the road, but you can't drive south down the road at the same time. You can do them at different times, but you can't do them simultaneously. So insulin, being a fat storage hormone, when it turns on, the fat burning process stops. So in order to control your insulin response, we need to do a couple things. Number one, you need to eat less, obviously. You need to eat less often. And you need to eat a very specific type of low glycemic or low insulin stimulating types of food. So we have a very vast, but very carefully curated matrix of food that you're allowed to eat. And there's some things that you are not encouraged to or discouraged from eating, or encouraged to avoid, however you would like to hear that. We eat less often. So we're putting our bodies into a intermittent fasting process. So you'll eat 2 meals inside of an 8-hour eating window, and your 16-hour fasting window will cycle on either side of that eating window. And if you can cycle that eating window even smaller, to 5 hours or 4 hours, then you're doing even better. And I don't want you to go down to 1 meal. There is evidence to support long-term eating 1 meal a day is not a bad idea for a lot of people, maybe not everybody. But on this, we do 2 meals. You do 2 meals inside of 8 hours, and you can pick the 8 hours. And they don't always have to be the same. You can change it because life gets in the way. But normally, let's just say you start eating at 11 in the morning for your first meal, or 10. Let's say 10 o'clock. Man, I'm starved. You start eating at 10 o'clock. Have that meal at 10. You don't eat anything. You finish that meal. You don't eat anything until your next meal. And it should be done by 6 p.m. So you can eat at 10 and you can eat at 5. And you eat between 10 and 6. Does that make sense? So it's 2 meals in an 8-hour eating window. And then there's only water allowed on the other 16 hours. And yes, you're going to have black coffee and black tea as well. That's okay. And so that's kind of the start of controlling your insulin response. The third thing here is reversing your insulin resistance at the cellular level. Okay, now what is insulin resistance? Think of it this way. When we eat carbohydrates, so carbohydrates are anything that is grown in the ground, whether it's potatoes or fruit or vegetables, grains. Sugar comes from sugar cane, grows in the ground. It comes from sugar beets. Anything that grows in the ground is a carbohydrate. Anything that swims, crawls, slithers, flies, walks, runs, anything like that, that's meat, that's protein and fat. So any carbohydrate that comes into the body, insulin is going to get triggered, okay? And insulin, being the master switch, is going to direct traffic. And those carbohydrates are going to go either to the liver and the muscle, or they're going to go to fat. 3 ways. Most of the time, when insulin cells, when the cells are sensitive to insulin, the normal state, the cells say, okay, insulin gets released. You eat some carbohydrates, insulin gets released, normal. And insulin says, hey, all you guys, you carbs, you go over there. You're going to go to the liver. You're going to go to the muscle. and the liver and the muscle are going to turn that carbohydrate into glycogen, which is short-term storage. That's normal. The leftover is going to go into the fat cells. So if you eat way too many carbs, you're going to get some fat and you're going to get some glycogen stored. That's normal. Okay. When we overeat, when we eat too many carbs, especially the refined ones, and a lot of processed stuff, what happens is those cells become resistant. They're saying, So the liver and the muscle cells go, I don't want it. I'm busy. Send them over to the fat. The fat will take care of it. And the fat's like, dude, send them over here, man. Like, I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take all of it. And so in an insulin resistant situation, the cells say, this is not normal. The liver and the muscle say, I don't want it. The fat says, fill me up. And so the fat cells get filled up. And guess what happens? We get big tummies, we get big wide hips. And those are the preferential areas. There's other areas as well, but it really shows up as that contoured belly, especially in guys. You really see it in guys. Okay, that's insulin resistance. So we have to undo that. We start to undo that with controlling your insulin response and the things we just talked about. But even more than that, we supercharge it with this stuff. This is called Chaos Tamer. And if you look at all the ingredients, which you can't really see very well, I'll stick it up there. I think it's reversed, but they're all herbs. Okay, it's an all natural products, all herbs. And these herbs have been shown scientifically all to help heal the pancreas and the liver, which is what controls the blood sugar mechanism or metabolism in the body. This stuff will reverse your insulin resistance and increase your cells' sensitivity to insulin. It takes about a year. I'll tell you that right now, because one of the most common questions are, well, when I finish losing weight, do I still have to take the supplements? The answer to this one is no, you don't have to keep taking it. The answer to this one is I'd recommend it for at least a year, because it really kicks in after 9 to 10 months. It really starts to kick in. And then that insulin resistance really starts to get reversed. Okay, then the last thing here, or the fourth thing I should say, is to reset your metabolism. We do this with a 3-week on, 3-week off rhythm. A normal hormone cycle rhythm is about 3 to 5 weeks. So I've researched this out and I've tested this, and I found that 99.8% of people can do anything for 3 weeks. So we go on a fat burning process for 3 weeks, and then we go off of it and we reset, we auto save for 3 weeks, and then we start again. Okay. So inside that, a 90-day program, which is 12 weeks, right? 3 months, you're going to go on and off twice, on, off, on, off. And in that period of time, most people are going to lose between 20 and 45 pounds naturally of abnormal fat burned. The last thing that this program solves is building the identity of the person you want to become. Okay. The cleaners were at my house last Wednesday and they took my acorns. I cannot find my acorns, but I always hold up an acorn. So everybody knows what an acorn looks like. An acorn, okay, what is the purpose of an acorn? Ralph Waldo Emerson said that 1,000 forests are contained within a single acorn. What does that mean? It means the identity of the acorn is actually a forest. So you can't plant that acorn into the ground and ever expect to grow a maple tree, can you? And the point I'm trying to make with that little metaphor is that you can't become your ideal body weight, your ideal body shape, your desired level of health and vitality and youthfulness with the same identity that created the body you currently have. You just can't. I cannot plant your acorn right now that created who you are and turn you into a maple tree. So we have to work on the identity piece, and that's what's missing. This is the big missing piece. And we have an entire process that we take people through 12 weeks. I have you go through it twice. Okay. I wanted to give people another opportunity to go through this program twice because repetition is absolutely not only encouraged, but necessary. And that's part of the program. All right. So it's called the Weight Loss Recode because we're going to recode your identity from what it is to what you would love for it to become. So are you ready to recode? You've seen what this is and what it isn't. The only question left over is whether you're ready to make this the last time you ever start over. So we offer 3 programs that are designed to match the level of the support that you're looking for. So here they are. Okay. So the first one is self-guided. So it's a DIY weight loss program. So it's a do-it-yourselfer. So if you already know how to lose weight, if you're already really good at losing weight, if you found a program that you love, that you're really good at, and it works really well for you, but the weight keeps coming back even every time you do it, then the missing piece is the identity, and this fills that void. It's a way to supercharge your own program with our guided mentoring and some powerful bonuses. So it's a 24-week super conscious mentoring program, and it's a membership-based program. And we meet every Tuesday at 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. Where'd that go? We meet at 1 p.m. Eastern and 7 p.m. Eastern every Tuesday, where I teach a process that helps rebuild your identity. This is literally creating the psychology. All right. So if we go back, these 4 things right here are the physiological weight loss program that we offer. And the DIY piece is this one right here. So if you just want to build the identity of the person you want to become, this is the program for you. You've already got the physiology piece handled. This is the psychological piece. Okay. So it's a 24-week membership. We also include a sleep yourself thin meditation program. This is really, really cool, where you put your headphones on, or you just put it on your phone or whatever while you go to sleep. And I'm literally reprogramming using the super conscious to reprogram your unconscious to becoming more comfortable with becoming a lower body weight. And so it happens literally, we give this instruction to the superconscious, and it literally happens while you sleep. This is super powerful bonus. I love this. And then the next one is an inner power meditation. And then the last one here are some walking meditations that you can just do while you're out walking. You just put your headset on. And I walk you through some processes. We also have a live in-person 2-day Recode Your Identity event here in Florida, and you get a free ticket for that. So if you add all those things up, this is probably $3,000 or $4,000 worth of stuff, and we're offering it for $14.99. If that's something, hey, I want to do that, you can scan this DIY checkout right here. It'll take you right to the checkout, and then we'll get you set up. We'll get you started. You get reminders, and of course, you get the full replay library of all of the sessions that we do on Tuesdays. You also get the replay library of the sessions we do on Wednesdays. Now, for anybody who's West Coast would have a hard time with this, because we start at 9:30 Eastern on Wednesday mornings. And this is a pure one-on-one coaching session in a group session. So we call it Dr. John Unleashed. So you saw all the years of experience and the tens of thousands of one-on-one sessions I've helped people with a million different things in their lives. And this is me unleashed, where you can come in and say, hey, I need some specific coaching on this particular issue. Melinda, I'm actually going to ask you, I didn't ask Melinda to do this, but I'm going to ask you to unmute and chime in on this, because we did one of these this morning, and just off the cuff, tell me what you thought of that session for our friend Susan.
The first word that came to my mind is powerful. She the way, the emotions, she was crying, she was laughing, and she was just completely, it was just powerful. It was amazing. It was amazing.
Yeah, we love doing those things. And so, you show up on Wednesday. I don't have an agenda. On Tuesdays, I have an agenda, and I'm going to teach something. You're going to get an incredible experience from the subject matter on Tuesdays. On Wednesdays, we just show up, and I love it. It's my favorite day. It's like, well, what do you got for me today? Let's just dive in. And it always helps not only the person or the people that we're doing one-to-one with, but everybody on the group. Melinda, would you agree that everybody in the group?
Absolutely. I was doing the Recode right along with her on my own things. So it was different than what she brought up, but I was just blown away with it.
Yeah, it's super cool. So that's all included here in the do-it-yourself weight loss program. So the next one is the full Monty, so to speak. It's a complete solution. We call it the most recommended. It's $24.99. We don't have any limits on how many people we accept in the DIY or this one. There's no limits to it. Sometimes people are on webinars and say, "Oh, you got to jump in. There's only 5 spots available," and make all this urgency. And that's not the case. We can handle a lot of people on this program because we've proven that we can, and they all get unbelievable transformations. But this is the whole package. Which means those 5 things that this program does address are all addressed in this program. So you get our 12-week weight loss protocol. So Melinda and I together have done thousands of people through the program. And it is an extremely powerful program. You get the products, the 12-week supply of these products, the weight loss formula and the Chaos Tamer. I've built our own proprietary tracking app. Other doctors use it. They subscribe to it. You guys are going to get it for your daily tracking. It logs everything. You log your food. It gives you instructions. There's videos. There's resources. There's support products you can purchase in it if you need them. It literally handles everything, and you get one-to-one access to Melinda, who is going to be your assigned unbelievable personal coach who will handhold and walk you through this program every day. You have access to her literally unlimited through the tracking app. And she's amazing. I have to tell you, I am so lucky to have her on our team. I will tell you that every patient I've ever talked to one-to-one tells me literally the first thing they say is, "I got to tell you how amazing Melinda is. I love her." And she is a gem. So you get her on this program as well. And then you get me in the 24-week super conscious mentoring program, which we talk about Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and all the bonuses as well. So this is the most recommended. It's $24.99. And it's the complete solution. So you can, scan that thing, QR code with your phone, and that'll bring you to a checkout. On that checkout, it'll say, "Hey, it's $24.99. And you also have an opportunity to sign up somebody else at half price. So if there's your mom or your husband or your wife or your friend or your daughter or your sister wants to do it with you, you can sign one person up for half price as well. So it's $24.99 for the first and $12.50 for the second. So that's available too. And then the last one is the Back Daddy. This is the VIP. It's elite. It's $22,000. It's the ultimate transformation with one-to-one sessions with me. Plus, you get some premium equipment. So I said there's no limits on the other ones. There has to be on this because I can't do more than only a certain handful of one-to-one sessions per week with all the other things that I do. So this one is limited, and it's the Mac Daddy. It's 24 weeks on the protocol, so that's 6 months. People are going to lose 50 to 75 pounds on this program for sure. Plus, you get a full year of the Chaos Tamer. You get 24 one-to-one hours with me to dig into everything. So, you will come out of this a completely transformed person for sure. Plus, you get a full year on the super conscious mentoring, not just 6 months of the Tuesdays and the Wednesdays. You get the full year, all the bonuses. Plus, we have a relationship with a manufacturer for red light products that are the top in the world. They provide the spa, all the med spas with their red light therapy equipment. So this is medical grade red light equipment. It's not the stuff that you buy on Amazon. It's like a little red flashlight. It's not like that. I go through all the details of what this is, but you get a mask that's going to keep you looking young because it takes care of all your fine lines and wrinkles on your face. And you get 2 wraps. So the wraps, what the red light does is it does a lot of stuff, but in short, it targets your fat cells. It opens up your fat cells and drains them. It dumps them out into the interstitial space. And then it's your lymphatics that clear it. And that's what the vibration plate is for. So we include all that. We ship it to you for free. We teach you how to use it. And it's an unbelievable addition and supplement to losing pounds and inches with the program. This really works hard at extra pounds and eliminates cellulite as well. Plus, it gives you a much more youthful look. So this one, we don't have a checkout for it. You just have to, apply for this one. If you scan this, you'll get my calendar, and you can schedule a time where we'll just get on one-to-one and have a discussion. So the last thing that I'm going to share is that if you're like, "Hey, I really like this idea. This sounds really, really good. I don't have the cash right now." We do have in-house financing. Okay, so you don't have to delay your results. You can start now and get the the outcome that you want. You just scan this here below, and we'll have a discussion. and one-to-one, very comfortable. It's an enrollment conversation. It is not a sales pitch. I am not here hard selling anybody. We have these offers available. We know they work. My God, they work unbelievably. If it feels right, scan the QR code. If you still have questions, I'm going to hang out here. This is pretty much all I have to share. But I definitely want to hang out and answer some questions if anyone has it. And if you have anything that you want to ask me privately, before you're ready to, pull the trigger on any of this stuff, just scan this right now. It'll take you to my calendar. And you get this replay as well. We'll send it out, tomorrow. But this will go to my calendar, and you can just set up a time. Just give me some information, stuff you want to talk about. We'll set it up. It'll all be set up in Zoom, I believe, right automatically when you go to the link. And then we'll just get on the phone privately and answer any questions that you have. So